Awesome. Thanks everyone for joining us for our weekly skill sharpening and hustle session. First quarter of 2024 done. We're now April. Are you on track for your best year yet? Well, I reckon if you're rocking up to these sessions each and every week, you're putting yourself in the best position for that to absolutely happen. So today we're just going to cover off some stuff that we've gone through previously around AGENTBOX, contact and data management. And then from there, I'm actually going to branch into, I guess, helping you guys and girls understand some workflow processes that I have already built in AGENTBOX that can help you with autonomy and follow-up so you don't forget to chase up certain clients. And then I'm also going to share with you some winning words, some scripts and dialogues, whether it be when booking the appraisal, following up on the appraisal. And then we'll look at some things like digital pre-list kits, SMS templates, if you're doing it or not, okay? So let's jump straight into it. I will be sharing my screen a bit today. So just bear with me. I'll jump in here. Awesome. All right. Can everyone see AGENTBOX in front of you there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. All right. Is everyone using AGENTBOX religiously?
Yes.
Is everyone watching it using it to its full capacity?
No, not really.
Not yet.
Yeah, probably
That's
not.
Good. Honesty is the key to growth within business, right? And failure helps you succeed. So I'm not using AGENTBOX to its full capacity. I'm probably about 85%. But again, I'm just going to reiterate, if you haven't, get onto the AGENTBOX Academy. Bjorn, what's the price now again? I think it's like $37 to do
37, yeah, 37
bucks to do it. So if you haven't done it, do it, because it will help you understand a lot of this. But I'm also going to share with you the help center that you can almost watch a video to teach yourself anything internally within AGENTBOX. Okay, who's booked an appraisal and done an appraisal before?
No one's done any appraisals.
I hope you all have, because we're in trouble if you haven't.
Yeah.
So when you book an appraisal, are we all putting the information into AGENTBOX? Where are we capturing it? Are we writing down on pen and paper? Are we putting it in our back pockets? Or are we entering into the CRM?
Yeah, as soon as I get the appraisal and the vendor's contact details, I just add it in, because then that appointment for the appraisal appointment goes into my calendar.
Yes, well done, Bridget, Queen, absolutely. So if your diary synced to AGENTBOX, which it would be on setup, you can book the appraisal directly through AGENTBOX and it will link to your calendar automatically. So I'll get to that in a moment. So I've got a couple of appraisals today. Those that see that, door knock it, I dare you. Let's go against each other. But anyway, they're the addresses I've got today. So I've got two appraisals. So I'm going to use this one in Burton, my core area. Mike, who just called me off of activity in the area, right? So no relationship, no history, right? So when I searched Mike initially, there was no contact card, right? So when you're searching a contact, you can put in a mobile number. You can search categories, either a contact, a listing if you've got the address, or an appraisal, right? So let's say if I was to put in Mike's address, Ratiki, there's no appraisal previously booked for Mike, right? Now I'm going to book it today because I want to do the live demonstration with you guys and girls today. What's really important when you enter a contact, there can never be a duplicate contact with the same mobile, email, or address, okay? Now, what I want to reiterate, particularly in close geographical areas like we experience here in South Australia, a lot of us are meeting the same clientele, whether it be at open inspections, in the community, through digital, social, prospecting initiatives, whatever it is, right? We're all going to be meeting the same people at some point, bumping in the same people. What's really important is contact and data is not ownership, right? We don't own a person such as per se. However, what's really important, and we have a really good rule here in South Australia that's working really well, is that if you identify a duplicate contact that you've intercepted, maybe they've asked you to come and appraise their home, and maybe they're in as a contact with Bjorn, first and foremost, reach out to the agent directly and establish what the history is, and reach a mutual agreement if they're happy for you to transfer the contact over to you. I try and avoid having to step in. If I have to, if a mutual agreement can't be, achieved, so be it. But in most instances, like Raymond Pham, he listed one at 27 Bond Avenue the other day. It was actually a client that bought off me. It was in my core area, and it was a primary contact of mine. But they wanted to deal with Raymond because it's a Vietnamese client. Raymond's Vietnamese. And to my fault, I hadn't actually been in touch with the buyer and the client that bought the home off me at 27 Bond Avenue for over a year. So I dropped the ball there, right? I didn't add value. In fairness, it's free game. Raymond got in there, intercepted, contacts over to him. So just a bit of a policy there. If you get duplicate contacts, reach out to the agent directly, have a conversation, pick the phone up is what we always encourage, and try and just reach a mutual outcome. But nobody owns people, nobody owns relationships. And I truly believe if in the instance of Raymond's with 27 Bond Avenue, if I was adding value to that client, there would have been no reason he would have picked the phone up and said, hey, Chris, I'm selling, come out and see me, right? I didn't add value to him, so I transferred it over to Raymond, plain and simple. So when we go and add in a contact, Mike and Melanie Mincher, so you'll see here that I've booked the appraisal for them. So firstly, I'll just put whoever that is on mute. There we go. So first and foremost, what's really important is always grab their first name, surname, email, mobile, right? Pretty straightforward. Grab their property address. Now in here, I'll just point out if this is an investment property, right, and their owner occupant property is different or their postal address is different, you can tick that box there and enter in a secondary address. Okay. In here, contact class. If you're booking an appraisal, I'd be tagging it as prospective vendor. Okay, because those that might be using active pipe of the likes or mute. Active pipes or other different plugins, you can obviously target specific contact classes. So if you wanted a communication to go out to prospective vendors, Mike and Melanie would get that communication, which is different to maybe a communication you're doing to buyers with the contact class buyers. Okay, but pretty straightforward. We got the contact in there. Okay.
Just one thing on that, Chris, quickly.
Yes. Yeah.
With that contact class as well, guys, if you're going to go do an appraisal, I would go, there's a category there, appraised. I would suggest ticking the appraised button, and I'd also tick the suburb button as well, because then if you want to narrow it down to people that you've actually appraised, not just a prospective vendor, but actually appraised in Burton, you can actually narrow down just to send out a very specific email to appraisals in Burton only, or all appraised, or so the more detailed you can be with your contact classes, I find the better the content you can deliver to those people. So I just wanted to add that quickly, Chris.
Excellent. That's a great point. So you can see there, guys, I've just added in contact class. At the conclusion of today, I can add in there that I've actually appraised it and that Mike and Melanie are in the suburb of Burton. So if I wanted to do a Burton prospective vendor communication, I can be very specific to those prospective vendors in that suburb, which is a great point there, Bjorn, because you want to be talking differently to prospective vendors than prospective buyers. You probably want to talk different to a prospective vendor in Salisbury Council region in our area to maybe somebody who's up the hill at Tea Tree Gully or in the east where the Queen Bee is, right? You want to talk different language in different marketplaces, absolutely, and send different relevant information. So once I've added the contact in here, now I'm going to jump into a bit of a role play here in a moment, but you can see here on the left-hand side, right, under contact history, I make a lot of notes against any contact with respect to any conversation we've had. The reason being, it's my reference point that I go back to, right? So you can see here, called me off my Burton letterbox drops and area sales, built the home, is 4-bed, 2-bath, 2 living areas. It's a Hickenbotham built home. Ducted reverse cycle air conditioning, no solar, entertaining area, floating floors, carpets to bedrooms, and formal lounge. Selling as building a home in Gawler East, due for completion in early 2025. We talk about the who, what, when, where, why. I'm already establishing that before I even go out there, right? At this stage, just getting an indication of what work to be completed, excuse my grammar, as has been a tenanted home since being built. They are occupying it now until their new home is built, selling due to wanting to more room with
pre-approval and editing on.
You're on mute. Selling due to wanting more room with land and big shed, right? So what I do for those guys and girls, depending on what skill level you're at with doing appraisals, right? If you're like 0 to 3 years, I used to get really detailed about my appraisals, right? Because the more structured you are, it just helps you with flow. If you've been doing it 15 years like Bjorn and I have, and you've done a wealth of a lot of appraisals, it's a lot easier for you. So what I generally do, guys, is I'll bring up the property and RP data as I'm talking to the client, right? So let's say, Bjorn, you're Mike, you've just called me, okay? You know the background now a little bit of why you called me. So I'm going to just jump into a role play. Mike, thanks for calling me today. Bjorn, thanks for calling me today. Appreciate the opportunity. Hey, mate, can I just ask you what prompted you to get in contact with myself today for an appraisal?
I've just seen you doing a lot of letterbox drops and stuff around the area, mate. So just seen a lot of activity from you. So I thought I'd give you a call.
Excellent. I appreciate the opportunity. I pride myself in the information that I provide to local residents of Burton. I hope you're finding it valuable. Mate, can I just ask you a few questions that just helps me get prepared for when we do catch up together? Is that all right?
For sure, mate. Fire
Cool,
away.
mate. So I can see that you acquired the home back in 2009. Does that sound about right?
Mate, I sure did. I wish prices were still like that. 135K, mate, was a bloody good buy back then.
I can see that, mate. And from what I can see, it looks like you're the original owner of this property as well. You built it?
That's correct. Yep, that's right.
Excellent. Who did you build the home with, mate?
We built it with Hickenbotham. Was that the one?
Yep, spot on, mate. Good on. Good memory. Excellent. So this is what I'm saying. Engaging conversation, guys and girls, right? Just hitting the pause button there, right? Because a lot of agents won't do this, right? Get the client talking about their home and their why, right? So getting back into the role play now. So what I can see here, Bjorn, is it's telling me that you've got a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-car garage. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that's right, mate. Yep.
Okay, and it was built in 2008. Can you tell me, mate, have you done any work, improvements or renovations to the home since you've owned it since then?
Just a little bit of basic stuff, you know, like just fresh paint, change some floor coverings over. What else have we got here? I've got to read the notes.
Just make it up, man. Just make it
yeah,
up.
just ducted reverse cycle air conditioning, some fresh paint, some new floor coverings.
Excellent. So have you occupied the whole time, the property the whole time, mate? Or
Yeah, mate. Yep. We still live there today. So we've lived there the whole time. Just want
No
something a
problems.
little bit bigger now.
Okay, no problems. I'll get into that in a moment. Do you have any entertaining or al fresco on the property?
Yeah, there's a rear pergola area, just a small little, 3 meter by 6 meter pergola at the back.
Cool. And you mentioned you got ducted reverse cycle heating and cooling. Do you have any solar energy efficient on the property?
No, unfortunately not.
Okay, cool, mate. Thanks for providing that information. That just helps me gather some information prior to our catch up so we can maximize our time together. I'm going to hit the pause button there. So for those that like to take RP data reports and look at sales history, this is really good dialogue for you to use, right? Understand the property, its attributes, its features, its improvements before you walk into the appraisal, right? Now, I know some people like to do appraisals twice. They go out and see the property, maybe go back and revisit. If that's your workflow and that works for you, great. Me, for time efficiencies, for the volume of appraisals I'm doing, I want to go out there once and maximize my time together with the client because I'm either appraising it or listing it is my real objective, okay? So once we've asked those questions, then we're going to jump into. So Bjorn, you mentioned to me you're looking at moving to getting into something bigger. What's the ideal plan for you?
More land. This one's only on 444 square meters. Just want more room for the kids to be able to run around, maybe even add a pool eventually. Just have some more space for,
Okay.
It's got an entertaining area, but that's about all it's got at the moment. So I just want a bit more than that. Some lawn area for the dogs, just a bigger block, maybe 700, 800 square meters, something like that.
Perfect, mate. And do you have like an ideal location that you're looking to move to?
Look, just somewhere around the area. All the families down this way, so probably within sort of 5Ks from where we are now, if possible.
Excellent. And any ideal time frame?
Look, whenever we get the opportunity, really. Like, I haven't done this before, so I'm not really too sure how to go about it. Like, do we buy something first? Do we sell something first? Like, do we get a bridging loan? I'm a bit confused. I don't really know exactly how to go about it, but I'd like to be in the new house as soon as I can, ideally.
Cool. Okay. So you're not too sure if you need to sell in order to buy yet, or?
I'm not too sure. Like I said,
Okay.
This is the first house we ever bought, and I've never sold a house before, so I just don't know or understand the process or what happens. So that's why I'm reaching out to you, because you seem to be
Awesome.
the expert.
That's great, mate. No, that helps me definitely for our catch up. Most certainly when we meet, we're going to talk about your property and potentially selling it. But I also help clients actually buy property as well. So if it's okay with you, when we catch up, one of the agenda items I'd like to cover off with you is how we help people get from A to B into that next property, not just selling at position A in point A. You need obviously transition. You need a house and roof over your head. I'd like to talk to you about how we can help you potentially secure that next home. Now, Bjorn, when we catch
honest,
up,
mate, that's what I want, mate. I want someone who can help me with the whole lot. It's too confusing to be dealing with all these multiple different people. So if you can help with that, mate, that'd be great.
100%, mate. I've been in your shoes. So I'll share with you my journey, but also clients that we've helped exactly with the same transition recently. I'll share a few case studies and stories with you that we've helped clients directly in your position in the last 3 to 6 months. And I'll talk to you about what we did before, what happened during, but more importantly, how we got them to position B and the overall outcome. Now, Bjorn, when we catch up, do you prefer appointments during the day, afternoons, or evenings?
Look, I'm pretty flexible. I work from home, so whatever suits you, mate.
Okay, so you mentioned to me on Thursday at 11 a.m. was suitable?
Yeah, that's fine. Yep, that's
Excellent.
fantastic.
All right, so what we're going to do, Bjorn, we're going to lock it in for 11 a.m. on Thursday. Now, just some very basic housekeeping stuff prior to us catching up. When we hang up from this call, mate, I'm going to send you an SMS. In the SMS will be a confirmation day and time of our appointment together. In the SMS, there's also going to be a little link that'll take you to my landing page. Feel free to jump onto that landing page as a brief intro. I guess you can put a face to my name before we catch up. You know who I am, obviously, from my letterbox drops already. But in that landing page, as you scroll down, there'll be some stuff you can start to follow me on. And a lot of the stuff I'm going to talk to you about will be on that landing page, whether it be social, video, digital content. Really what I want to demonstrate to you when we meet is my points of differences from mainstream real estate and what every other agent does via photos and realestate.com. So I'll send you that SMS at the conclusion of this call. And on Thursday morning at 7 a.m., I'm going to send you an SMS reminder to confirm our appointment for that day. I appreciate you're busy. Bjorn, thanks for your time. I'll see you Thursday, 11 a.m. Bang.
Yep.
Right. So guys,
Sounds
girls,
good.
again, not everybody likes to get as much intel and information perhaps as I do, right? I know Bjorn's different, but if you are new, the more structured, the more intel you have walking into an appraisal. Because if you're booking 4, 5, 6 appraisals, as some of us are per week at the moment, right? You forget. Or if you booked an appraisal a week ago and you're going to the appointment today, you think, shit, what was their needs? Where were they going? What were they doing, right? If you don't have all this documented, you're going to be walking in already on the back foot. So I will put this in the system so that when I book this, as I walk into the appraisal, before I get in there, 5 minutes, I sit in the car, jump in my AGENTBOX app, I can read the notes. I already know the history. So I'm walking in. Hey, Bjorn, looking forward to chatting to you today about helping you transition and get that next property in Gawler East so you can get that bigger block. Let's sit down and talk about your 5 Ws, right? So you're already getting a leg up. It's not just about doing the property tour. It's not just about selling the home. You're actually being personable because you understand the history and their why. Any questions on that dialogue or research or how I go into those conversations?
I think it's important what Chris says. Like, if you're fairly new and people don't really know who you are yet in real estate, the more detailed you are, and these SMSs and links to landing pages and pre-listing kits and stuff like that shows that you're a professional. Because if they don't know who you are, they're going to have a question mark about over the trust. But if you're giving them lots of good data and good information, oh, okay, that's pretty professional. That's pretty good. I look like I can trust this guy. Like Chris said, I work a little bit differently, but because I've been doing it for 16 years, most of my stuff is, hey, Bjorn, come and sell my house. It's not really an appraisal. So it's a little bit different. But I think when you're new, you definitely want to make sure you're maximizing and giving them as much detailed information you can so that you're proving that you can be a trusted professional. So I think that's very critical, because I don't think somebody that just is new on real estate can necessarily adapt to my exact way of doing things instantly. So I think it's very important that you give them lots of data, lots of information, so that you prove that you are an expert in what you're talking to them about.
100%. That's great points, guys. And again, this is just trying to help you. If you want to help with the conversion and strike rate, right? Have as much intel and as much information to be personable at that time. And depending on your confidence and skill level, I found when I started off in real estate, the more information I had in readiness, the more I could tailor and be more personable, and the more confident I went into that appointment. Now, you can see on the left-hand side, we've got all the notes for Mike and Melanie, okay? Then you can see the SMS that I've sent Mike and Melanie. Now, today I'm going to share with you a link of how you can create your own SMS templates in AGENTBOX, which I'll jump into in a moment. So you can see after I hung up the call on the 9th of the 4th with Mike, I said, hi, Mike and Melanie, excited to discuss your property aspirations Thursday, 11 a.m. Here's a quick intro. There's the link, Chris Jansen, eXp Realty. So real quickly, those that are already on Jot Forms know that I've shared this before. It's a free Jot Form account. You can have up to 5 Jot Forms. This is my pre-appraisal digital pre-list kit, right? So for those that might remember, many years ago, we used to do this manually. You'd get a box with information, would even put biscuits and sweets and coffee. And when you book the appraisal that day, we used to run out to the person's door and leave it at their front door. Now with digital time efficiencies, we can do the same. So pretty much here, there's just a bit of an intro video. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this audio. Can you hear that audio? No, you can't, can you? Anyway, Doesn't matter. It's an intro video. It's 1 minute and 30 seconds. I'll share that link in the chat now with you guys and girls. Oh. So if you want to watch it yourself, this video, guys, I literally shot it in my office with a virtual background, right? And all it is, it's a, hi guys, it was great to chat with you. Looking forward to the opportunity of meeting with you real soon. As promised, down below is some information we're going to cover off during our time together. Feel free to have a look at it. What we're going to do, we're going to set an agenda, what's important to you to maximize our time together. So I answer all of your questions. But also what I'm going to do is I want to demonstrate to you my points of differences versus in earning your business in the right way versus just quoting for your business, right? So you can watch that video and get a bit of a feel and flavor for it. There's a bit of an intro message. The main thing, though, is they can actually start connecting with me. So whether it be on my Blink digital business card, on my socials, there's a 10 home sellers points you must know before selling. They can connect with me on Instagram. They can connect with me on Views. There is a marketing guide there, so they can have a look and download my marketing guide and options. There is a how to selling with Chris Jansen guide as well. But the main thing, guys, is they're starting to engage and interact with me. And often what happens when I do this, particularly for those that are doing a lot of social and digital content, right, is when you go in and start talking to them about this, they're like, yeah, I've already seen your videos. I love them. I don't see anybody else doing them. I want that, right? Bjorn, you mentioned the other day, you got a listing purely because of that, right? Seen on Google, seen on YouTube, seen on socials. Real social proof, decision proof, right? It's the same here. So try and help yourself rather than just booking an appraisal, waltzing in there, talking about presentation, marketing, and price like every other agent does. What is it you're doing as your points of differences to stand out? I'm trying to get the client to connect and engage with me, real, raw, and authentic. As Tom Panis said yesterday, you got a phone, you got a brain, you got content, you're in business, right? It's the same here. Direct them there straight away. All righty. So I send that as the SMS intro. And in AGENTBOX, just so you know, up the top left-hand side here, you've got SMSs. So you can send a quick SMS, or down below, you've got SMS merge template. So when we go in here, guys and girls, this is where you can create all your own SMS templates. So see the top one, Chris Appraisal Intro SMS. It's got it all there. So all I need to do is put in the client's name and date and time of appointment, send. There's other categories that I've created. So we've got seller first open SMS. I've got seller go live SMS when their property goes live. Seller marketing proof SMS. There's an array and assortment of SMS templates I've got there that I use for my business. You might want it for yours. I don't know, but I'm going to share with you guys and girls the link for SMS templates that you can create an AGENTBOX yourself, coming through in the chat right now. Okay. So I like templates because I don't like writing the same thing 358 times over again. Right. Same assigned to other profile. Great question, Sid. Yes, you can. So I'm in South Australia. So unfortunately, I don't think you can see my SMS templates because each state's locked down to its own access. But mate, I can share with you any of the templates I've got and you can just replicate, implement. Absolutely. Those that are in South Australia, you can see my templates. So if you want to copy them and create them as your own in your own category, in your own name, you can do the same because you can see the same. All righty.
Just understand, guys, you have to purchase SMS credits when we're using AGENTBOX. That's all.
Yeah, 100%. Very easy. I'll show that right now. Top right-hand side.
How do we do that, Bjorn? How do we get the SMS credits?
Right now, Ellen, here we go.
Thank
You ready?
Cool.
You ready? All right. Top right-hand corner, you'll see your name in AGENTBOX. Okay. Manage SMS credits. Second one down. And then you can go and, oh, hang on. No, this is not the one. That's for the team. Sorry, guys, because I've got licensee. Where is it? I haven't done it for a while, guys. Put me on the spot here. Because this is all changed with the new AGENTBOX Premium. So it's manage SMS credit.
I think it's in that section that you're in previously, Chris, but down the bottom.
Oh, yeah, because I can, yeah, sorry, because I can see all of you guys.
I think if you go down the bottom, it should say something about purchasing SMS credits.
Yeah, so you'll see your name. So obviously I'm seeing everybody in South Australia as licensee. So if you'll just see your name here and the 3 dots to the right-hand side. So you can see I've got balance 947 credits available. You can go purchase SMS credits. You can select how many you want. So I generally buy 1,000 at a time, and it lasts me a good 6 months. So it's going to cost me $100 for 1,000, and it'll give me 1,947 credits. And then you just go proceed to go through to your payment details, so you can put in your credit card information. Bang.
Are they only 1 cent each now? Are they?
Yeah, it's gotten
Looked like it was
cheaper.
1 cent then.
Well, it was
'Cause it used to
9
be
cents
6 cents.
previously. 6 cents, yeah, 6
Yeah, it
cents.
used to be like 6 cents per
Maybe
credit.
it got cheaper with AGENTBOX Premium. Even better.
Well, that's
But
because
anyway.
you've got 160 characters for an SMS, and if you go over, then it starts as an additional. So it's 160 characters per credit, not one
Correct.
SMS per credit. Because if you write an essay, it's going to probably chew up 20 credits. So just be aware of that. But it tells you when you're typing what your credit count, what your character count is as well.
So it's only 1 cent now, is it?
Well,
I
that's
think
what
it
it
looked
looks
like
like,
it was.
man.
Yeah, it sounds like good common sense.
It makes
Boom.
dollars and cents.
Dad joke. Purchase credits. Yeah, it is, man. 1 cent. Yeah. $2,200. Sweet. Even better. Yeah,
Well,
it
that's
used
a
to be
lot
6.
better.
Does that answer your question, Alan?
Oh man, I've been wanting to do this for years and I just didn't know how to do it. Thanks so much.
We are your knight in shining armors, I assure you.
You are.
So when you type a message here, guys, you can see down the bottom, it'll tell you how many characters you've done, right? So, hi team, thanks for joining. Oh my God, I can't type today. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, you get the gist of it, yeah? You can see down here, it's telling you how many characters you've got. So one credit is 160 characters, right? So try and keep all your messaging to 160 characters or less. Okay, now, so we've done the SMS. Mike's seen our wonderful landing page. We've got all the notes. We're walking into the appraisal today at 11 a.m. We're understanding a little bit already about their 5 Ws before we walk in there. We're super, super prepared. Then what you can do, as Queen Bee alluded to, is you can then create a related property for this client. So this is where we book the appraisal, okay? So you can select, this is their own occupant place of residence, so it's their contact address, that won't change. So if we go into save, we're now adding in the prospect appraisal. So you can go in here and select that it's a house. It's already pulled through the information against the contact card, okay? We can go in and select a date of the appraisal. So it's 11 o'clock today. Select office. Yours will automatically default. I just have different options being licensee. You can then select in here reason for appraisal. Thinking of selling, definitely selling. So this is motivation. So these guys are definitely selling. Classification, is it cold, hot, warm? I'm going to put it as warm because they're not moving until 2025 until their build's complete. And then you can select the source, right? Farm area. Then you assign it to yourself. That now is an appraisal property. So if we look up 5 Ratiki, there it is. Then when you list the property, you can go in and convert it to a listing. You can put in the listed price, your commission rate, and it will convert it to a listing. And in here, that's where you can obviously save all your sales authority, your comparable market analysis reports, and an itemized marketing invoice if you wish. So I'll give you an example of one of my listings. This is one I appraised that's on the market right now. So it's now listing. So under the resources tab, under documents, you can see here, this is the sales authority, all saved in there for our listing team to process. This is a comparable market report, which we must provide here in South Australia at the same time of processing the listing. And I also provide the itemized marketing invoice so they can clearly see what's payable towards marketing. All righty.
Did I just see Harcourts there, Chris? What was that about?
Oh, yeah, because I sold it to them. Former life, mate. Former life.
Oh!
Yeah, former life. That was
Look at him, he's everywhere. He's everywhere.
that was my second life. This is my third one. But the main thing is once you convert it, you can obviously add in resources. So are there any questions on that, guys and girls? No. Awesome. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to show you is we've done the digital pre-list kit. We've got the notes. We've sent the SMS confirming the appointment day and time. Happy days, right? I'll share with you an SMS template that I use more so after the appraisal's been conducted. But now what we want to do is, how many of you forgotten to chase an appraisal that you've done? I'm guilty as charged, right? You get like 2 weeks afterwards and you're like, shit, I didn't ring Mike and Melanie and I appraised their home 2 weeks ago. Who's done that? Come on. Come on. How many of you lost a listing just because of that? Didn't follow up, right? So some of you are using Trello, some of you are using Monday.com, whatever you're using. I like it all in AgentBox because that's where all my data is. That's where all my contact history is, my notes, my SMSs, everything is there. So what you can do is you can create what's called activity schedules. So against the contact card, this little tick here, you can see add a task, right? So you can create a single task. So you can set the date as of tomorrow as an example and say follow up on appraisal and save. And that will save as a individual task against that contact. Or if you like Chris and you like automation, much like SMSs, you can create activity schedules. So the activity schedule is a reoccurring event, not a once off. Okay. So if I go into here, I can go apply activity schedule. Again, I'm going to drop the link here in a moment for the video tutorial of how to create your own activity schedules within AgentBox. Very straightforward. You can replicate mine if you like, but you'll see here, I've got an appraisal follow-up trail, right? So what I do is I set it for the day of the appraisal. I'm not going to set it because I've already set it against this contact card. So I'm just going to show you it. Save and proceed. It would assign that activity schedule against the client, right? So under here, activity schedules, you can see I've got the appraisal follow-up and it's going to have 2 follow-up tasks. Send appraisal commitment, testimonial or proposal, and then a follow-up, okay? So if I go into AgentBox and down the bottom here, this is where all your tasks are going to appear. So the green tick. So you can see here automatically, I've got 11 tasks today to do, right? So today, Michelle Hayes, guess what? It's her property anniversary, okay? So I've got to be calling Michelle, wishing her a happy 11-year anniversary or whatever it is at said address, 32 White Road, Parafield Gardens. How will I check that? Well, I'll look in Parafield Gardens. It'll tell me how many years she's been there. Hey, Michelle, congratulations, 21 years at 32 White Road, Parafield Gardens. Gee, the market's moved a lot in the area. Would you like a quick price update, see where your home sits in today's market? Okay, look at all the notes though. That's really imperative here. History, relationship, it's not just ownership of data. There is a lot of history here, right, of communication and follow-up. The other one that you can see here is I've got appraisal follow-up calls, okay? So when I have an appraisal follow-up call, when I sign that appraisal follow-up task, firstly, the day after the appraisal, it has a reminder for me to either send them a proposal, send them the sales authority, or send them a commitment letter. Whatever your follow-up process is, it will remind you the next day after the appraisal. Day 2 after the appraisal, so these guys at 5 Ratiki that I'm appraising today, tomorrow I'll have a task in AgentBox saying, hey, Chris, remember to send them a proposal. Am I signing them up, sending them a digital authority, or am I sending them just a price update? Whatever it might be as a follow-up. On Saturday, day 2, though, I'll have a task automatically in AgentBox reminding me to call them. Hey, Mike, Mel, great to catch up on Thursday. Thanks for the opportunity to meet with you. I know it's a little bit premature. 2025 is when you're moving to Gawler East. Can I just ask you one question? What do I need to do to earn your business come the beginning of 2025 when you're ready to make that transition? See what they say, right? Bori, are you still on the call? This is the test if they're actually listening.
I am. I was just watching a video.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, mate. I'm boring. You're putting you to sleep. Good to know.
You were
Can I
going to
ask you
Chris's
this question?
properties, weren't you?
Yeah, he's at the appraisals.
he's at Ratiki Close right now.
yeah.
He's
Sorry
there.
about that. Don, I'll just I'll get back to you quickly.
Mate, can I just ask you, you've listed what, 5 in the last week?
Yeah.
Cool.
Over 2 more
What
coming
is
on as well.
what is the winning dialogue that you're asking at an appraisal right now that's helping you? What's that question you shared with me?
I just asked them if I can be their agent.
As simple as that. So
it's
role
very,
play
very
with me.
simple.
So
I,
you've gone through
You
your
put me on the
appraisal.
spot here.
I know, brother. Well, that's why we're going to be dialed in, tuned in, and every moment notice. So just role play with me here. Like, so we've gone through the appraisal. Yep, boy, I'm really happy. Sounds quite good. I've had a couple of other agents out, but yeah, I like
Well-
what you're proposing as points of difference.
Look, Chris, I really appreciate that you've shared that you've interviewed other agents. Can I ask you, what's the deciding factor that's going to help me get the business? Because I want to be your agent.
Oof. I like this guy. That's a great question, guys, girls. I don't know if you're asking that, but that's a question I ask if I'm not getting it on the night. Definitely if I'm following up. Bori, going forward, what is it I need to do to earn your business when the decision and timing's right for you?
Because I want to be your agent.
Because I want to be agent. Oh, I like that.
Now, I went up against Ryan Stapleton in a listing in Parafield Gardens, and he's a very, very good real estate agent. Let's put it that way. Okay, he's been in the industry a lot longer than I have. I actually applied for a job with him, and he rejected me. And I went up against him in Parafield Gardens. And the vendor said to me, "Ori, it's very, very neck and neck with you and Ryan." And I said to him, "Look, Sean, I get it. You want to do auction. I'm an auction agent. I previously sold auction as well. But put everything to the side for a second. Who would you choose out of me and him? Who do you like more?" He goes, "Bori, to be honest, you're a local. I like you. I like your energy. You're not as polished as Ryan is. But that's what I like about you because you're just like me." I'm like, I can't change who I am. That's who I am. And I appreciate that you like me for who I am. But the question I have for you is, if you like me, why are we having this conversation then? Why not just go ahead with me? You like me already. All right? And I just shut up. And then he had to think about it. And I said, okay, afterwards, Sean, what can I do differently to earn your business? Because I want to be your agent. I really want to be your agent. I want to be the person representing you because I know I can do a really good job for you. And then, yeah, he said, "Look, I'm going to have a think about it and I'll come back to you." And then he sent me a text message saying, "You've got the job."
And that was
Bang.
a wonderful day. That was a wonderful day.
Yes, and Marco was there to celebrate with me. The point being is, out of all these appraisals I've gone to so far, all right, I'm not afraid of rejection. If they tell me that I'm not going to be the agent, that's fine. But I'm not going to miss the shot by not asking for business. Okay, if you're going to be right in front of them, that's the perfect opportunity because they are looking for a real estate agent. Okay, they need to sell their property. Once you've done the who, what, when, where, why, you've established what they need, you've solved their problem, and the only question you have left to ask them is, "Guys, we're here right now. I want to be your agent. What can I do to be your agent?"
Good dialogue, Bori. The easiest way to lose a listing is to not ask for it.
Absolutely.
And the easiest way to win a listing is to ask for it.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science. You just got to have the confidence. And
Absolutely.
people like people that are confident. People want, and it's confident to say, "Look, if you guys, do you like me? If you guys like me, what are we having this conversation for? Let's move forward." How hard is it for them to then go, "Oh, no, I do not want to have you as my agent, Bori"? They'll feel like assholes.
Because
So
it's harder to
just gotta
reject
ask.
someone as well. It's hard for someone to say no to business like when it's right there and then, especially if someone's hungry for it. And I have the sales agency agreement pulled out by then because I go through all my fees and marketing there and then. And then I just ask them, "Chris, do you have your driver's license on you?" And then they just pull it out and I just start filling out the form. I don't ask, "Oh, okay, we need to sign this documentation." I just go through it. And I go, "Okay, cool. You can initial down here and I need your autograph at the back." Done. When can I book for the photographers?
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Leading
Winning
up to
words.
those conversations, you need to do soft closes as well. So if you've read the Wolf of Wall Street book, he teaches you about the straight line system, and you need to do soft closes into that alongside with the 5 Ws. Once you've mastered this, you'll want to go to more appraisals because you know you have a very, very good structure on how to close these deals.
It's good. Some questions might include when can I bring some buyers through? Do you have a spare set of keys? What day would suit for photography?
Yeah.
Are you available best during the day or during the night for bringing people through? Does Saturday work for you? You know, just all these little things, all these small little closes, like you're saying, Brewery. And they'll be like, yeah, we've got a spare set of keys. So you got a spare set of keys for me then? Yeah, we've got a spare set of keys for you.
And,
You know,
and I've
they're
noticed
already in
too-
our hand. Could I bring some buyers through maybe next weekend? Would that work for you guys? I'll check with the wife, but yeah, I'll get back to you. But next weekend should be okay. If they're talking like that, you've already got the business before you've even had any of those awkward conversations.
And you do it well as well, Bjorn, where you go, hey guys, does what I'm saying making sense to you? Is there any questions? Is there anything I haven't covered? Or is there something I need to recover over again? You know, those are the kind of things that Bjorn always asks is, does this make sense? Are we on the same page? You do that 6 or 7 times throughout your listing presentation. You'll say, let's go. Let's do it.
And, you know, if you haven't read the art of body language, right? There's a book and it talks to you about body language. So you start mimicking your client. So if your client's doing this and you're talking to your client, you slowly start doing that as well, right? And you start mimicking them to starts and you get them to say, yes. Is this freshly painted? Yes. Yeah. Have you guys lived here since 1986? Yes. So they're saying the word yes, 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 yes. You just ask them anything where the answer is yes a few times during the presentation. So they just get used to saying yes. Don't ask them questions where the answer can be no, because you want to get them used to saying yes so much that yes becomes easy and feels good. And then you're laughing with them and joking with them and getting yeses and getting yeses.
Yeah.
Right. And then when it comes to asking for the business, the natural thing that they want to say is yes, because they've just said it so many times previously as well.
Yeah.
And when you start mimicking their body language like this, right, and you start copying them, like this is all the everything I do is psychology, everything. I'm like Dr. Kunzel. And I'll start doing this and I'll start copying them. And then very subtly, I'll start asking them yes questions that say them yes. And then once they're saying yes, then I will move and I'll see if they copy me. And if they move and start copying me, we're in business. If they don't, or they're sitting there with their arms crossed or something, there's major objections. Do not go in for the final closing when somebody is closed off to you, because the answer will be no. You've got to get them to open up first. And body language and things like this is a very subtle way of doing it.
Yeah. I've just dropped in the group chat, guys. If you want to grab the link now, the Help Center for AgentBox, how to create activity schedules. Okay. There's also my landing page that's there for the digital SMS that I send as my digital pre-list kit. If you want to copy and replicate, like I said, it's literally all drop form. It's free. I shot the video myself with CapCut. You can use, put in a virtual background, load it to YouTube, and just link that to your page, right? Very simple. If you need help with drop form, we've done a previous session on it. I can share with the training on that. But this is all free stuff that just gives you a competitive edge over what the other agents are doing and just walking in. Sid asked a really good question. Comparable market analysis, do you use RP Data, Proposal, or AgentBox? I don't use it neither. I think depending on where you're at in your career, I think sometimes we get so asphyxiated on data that when you start just honing in on price only, that's where you could be winning and losing business. As Bjorn said, focus on the 5 Ws. I actually don't walk into appraisals with comparable reports anymore, guys. I used to, like 5 years ago, I used to go, okay, let's look at the data. Let's look at what sold 5 years, either side, age of your home, 30, 40 squares, less in living and block size. Let's look at the features, location, improvements or renovations to identify, are we the low, medium or high end of the... I was walking in there like a bank valuer pretty much, right? And the appraisal was so centered around price. And I think price is a very sensitive conversation that you should be having 2% of conversation on, and 98% is on the 5 Ws. Like I'll give you an example. I listed one in Salisbury Downs, classic example. Agent walked in, did a usual appraisal, just gave him a price update pretty much, walked out. I went in there and I just asked the client, I said, so what do I need to do? What do I need to do to be your agent going forward from today, Tracy? Because I'm here to sign you up and I want your business and I want to represent you. She goes, oh, you're the only one that asked me that. Cool. Sales agency came out.
That's
and she's
great.
like, we haven't even spoke about price. I said, oh, okay. Well, I'm not here to promise a price, but I've just gone through the process that'll help demonstrated to you how we're going to get the best price. Let's take price out of the equation. Let's not put a price on it to begin with. Let's talk about a best offer campaign, closing period, create the urgency mode. So pricing actually never came up in that appraisal at all. We didn't even talk about price.
Although,
it was about the process.
Chris, just quickly though, like for a young agent going through, you definitely want to know, like you want to have that in your toolkit, like in your bag or whatever it is, or at least research what's been sold in the street, what's been selling. I think the other thing is very important, like you mentioned before, get a lot of questions at the appraisal phone call, you know, making sure that you know exactly what you're dealing with so you can research, do a little bit of information seeking. So when they do sweat you on price and go, well, what do you think this is worth? Look, I've seen the house down the street. Have you seen that? Have you looked at any other properties down the street? Oh yeah, I've seen that as well. So you're kind of familiar with what's going on as well. And then finally, the other thing is, like, we're not fortune tellers. So in terms of pricing, like, I get the pricing wrong probably most of the time. So I can tell you a price point, but at the end of the day, what price point I tell you right now, what we get down the track, who knows?
Yeah.
And Prab, just
Prab,
in regards
yeah.
to that 5 Ws, I'm meeting up with Prab and Brigitte and Mike today because we're doing some video content. I'll go through it with you in person, Prab, but it's basically, if anyone on the call that doesn't know what it is, it's my little thing that changed my business, which is just who, what, when, where, why. And I learned it in drama school, and it's find out who the client is. Who are you dealing with? Am I dealing with Chris, or am I dealing with Chris Jansen, Melissa Jansen, Airly? You know, who am I dealing with, right? Who are they? What do they want to do? What do they want to do? Do they want to buy? Do they want to sell? Do they want to invest? Do they want to develop? What does Chris want to do? When does Chris want to look at doing what Chris wants to do? Where does Chris want to go to? Where does Chris live now? Where would Chris love to be? Where is Chris's ideal location? Where is Chris's ideal life? Where is that? Is that Australia? It could be Queensland, it could be Burton, it could be Powerfield Gardens, it could be Bali. Who knows where Chris would ideally like to be in life, right? And why? Why is Chris having any conversations with any real estate agents at all? Why? Because the two kids share a bedroom and they're fighting. It's not about price. It's not about location. It's about the two kids fighting and how to stop the kids from fighting by getting them into their own bedrooms. Once you understand who you're dealing with, what they want to do, where they want to go, when they want to do it, and why they want to do what they want to do, you establish such a close relationship with that person. Like, oh my gosh, this person really, really cares about me as an individual and who I am, that then the rest of the business takes care of itself. But when you're sitting there and you're telling people and you're trying to overeducate them on price and process and method and marketing and all this, all you are is a salesperson, and they're looking at you like a salesperson. But when Bjorn finds out who Chris is, what he wants to do, when he wants to do it, where he wants to go, and why he wants to do what he wants to do, along with having all those resources as backup to bring in as needed, right? Then Chris goes, I like this guy. He really cares about my situation. I want to do business with people I like, people I trust, and people I know are competent. So with a lot of delivery of information I give to people, the delivery of the information I give them is just social proof of results of what I've been able to deliver. And then I let the process of price take care of itself. I never price properties, ever.
I'll give you an example, Prab, and there is a recording also on the Google Shared Drive on the 5 Ws, guys and girls. So if you click today's link, recording, replay, it'll take you to the Shared Drive. There'll be the 5 Ws recording in there. I'll give you another example of a listing I got in Paralawi this week, Bori. I'm prospecting. The new Prince of Paralawi is here, brother. You're going into Burton, I'm going in Paralawi. But I walked into this house, right? They renovated. They've dropped like 100 Gs in it. Like, it was, as soon as you walked in, I was like, shit, this is unique, right? But immediately their reaction was, okay, should we show you around? I said, oh, we'll get to that in a moment, guys. Let's just sit down and get to know each other first, if that's all right. And they're like, oh, okay. Every other agent wanted to do the tour first. I said, we'll get to that. I can see you've got something incredibly unique and magical here, but let's just find out like a little bit about each other. Is that cool? Can we just sit down first? And they're like, oh, okay. So again, when they zig, we zag. Every other agent, and they had 2 agents before me, did the same thing. Let's do the property tour. Let's talk about marketing. Let's talk about presentation. Let's talk about price. Talk, preach. In that appraisal, which I did the meet and greet, the 5 Ws, the property tour, sat them down and signed them up, I was in and out within 50 minutes because I spoke for about 20% of the time. They spoke for 80%, right? He or she who speaks the least or most either wins or loses, right? Generally, the person who speaks the most loses. So there's that 5W recording in there. Bali is asking the question. Now, Bjorn, you and I are very indifferent in this space. Must sell ASAP, must be sold, vendor says sell. So for me, I'll answer that question. I do not put those headlines in any of my marketing because I'm a buyer. I'm a astute investor. Motivation, if it's disclosed, it can be used to an advantage or a disadvantage. So I would be saying, if you put that in any of your marketing, get the vendor's approval and consent before making that decision yourself. Because for me, when I hear must be sold ASAP, must be, vendor says sell. I smell desperation. I smell motivation. And as an astute buyer, I'm going to use that to my advantage and to your seller's disadvantage. So if you do that, I'm not saying don't do it, because Bjorn, I know you do it. Just make sure you get their agreement prior to doing it. So if it comes back and they said, oh, you made me look desperate because you're saying vendor sell, sell, sell.
Chris,
Well,
the vendor is all happy. Whatever I need to do is just do and get it done. So I'm just in one of those situations, and I'm gonna live. I don't know whenever I can, and I need to open coming Saturday. So just to attract more buyers, and I'm not putting any price. So that's what I was thinking. Just say, okay, we need to sell. Come.
The
I
reason
think
why
just be cautious of it, because it's a bit like saying divorce sale, come and buy. They've got to get rid of each other. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just got to be really sensitive.
The reason why I do it, and like I said, this is good because Chris and I are yin and yang, and it's really good because you get different aspects from different personalities, right? But we're so much alike. We love so much the same things, but we've got different approaches to things sometimes, and they both work. And everyone's got a different way. So some people might appeal to my way. Some people might appeal to Chris's way. The reason why I use it like that, because I don't put any prices on any of my properties. So I want the language, and I say to my vendor, I want the language when the client is reading your ad, I want them to think that you are desperate and this is going to be the best buy that they're ever going to find in the history of real estate ever. Because what that's going to do then is it's going to appeal to the buyer's greed, and then you're going to get every single buyer to that property swarm. But we're not putting a price. So we're not putting a desperate price there. They're going to come there thinking that they're going to get a bargain and that this is a fire sale and that this is desperate. And then all of a sudden, bing, 100 other people out the front that you're competing with, guys. Not me. It's your other buyers. Sorry, guys. The vendor does want it sold quickly, but unfortunately, Fred, Rebecca, Frank, Tony, John, Chris, I got 12 offers on this thing, and unfortunately, you're competing against those guys, and the price has just come up. So I use the desperate language to draw the people to the property as if it's Burley at the back of a boat to try to hook the fish. That's why I will use it sometimes.
All right,
I know
you're talking
one,
fishing
Chris.
now. I'm in. I'm using that
You're in?
language now. Yeah, I'm
But
in.
I would
Hook,
never
line, and
do it.
sinker.
I would never do it with having a price attached to it, because if you did language like that, and then so if I had language like that, and then I had a price $500,000 as a buyer, then I'd want to go in there and pay $420,000. But if there's no price attached to it, the language sounds like must be sold. Vendor says sell, and then all of a sudden, hey guys, it's going to sell for whoever makes the best offer. Now all of a sudden, sorry guys, I've got 12 offers on this thing, guys. Sorry, it's already gone to 530,000 plus. I'm sorry, but the vendor would have taken 450, but unfortunately, it's already at 550 now. Sorry, it's gone up to 580. Sorry, it's going up to 590. It's not me, it's the other buyers that are here. Sorry, guys. But you've got to be very, very tactical with the way you do it, because if you do it with a price point attached to the property, you're going to screw it up. So if there's no price, Barley, you're all good. If there's a price on it, do not mention any desperate language in any ads when you've got price attached to them. Never.
No price beyond on this one. It's just that's what I was aiming as well, because I think as for right now, market is a little hot. So if you put something like this, maybe it'll draw lots of people. And I don't have much time. Like if I go live today, I only have one day in between. Or then we do the open inspection. So I want a bit of a crowd on the property. That's what I wanted.
My advice to you wouldn't be open it up, mate. You haven't got enough marketing exposure in 24 hours. I think for me, and again, this is working to an ideal week. What works for me, again, Bjorn's different. I put all my properties. So whatever I'm putting onto the market next week, I'm doing all the marketing this week, right? All my content, all my creation, all my marketing and vendor proof is this week. They're signing off on it. And then I'm putting it live Monday. So I've got a full 5 days of marketing exposure, because you got to think the shorter window that something's seen creates less opportunity for activity, right? Because it's a small window, right? So if you're putting something live, hang on, mate, let me finish. Let me finish, brother. Barley, let me finish. So if you're putting something on the market within 24 hours of opening it, I think it's creating a really compressed window of opportunity. Whereas if you market something and expose it over a greater period of time, i.e. 3, 4, 5 business days, you're more likely to create more activity. Because as we know, it's eyeballs. The more something is seen, the more inquiries. The more inquiries, the more foot traffic. So if you've marketed something at a really short period of time, there's not going to be a lot of eyeballs that have seen it. Particularly, with social algorithms. Social algorithms take time to build. But the more it's commented and shared, that snowball gets bigger and bigger over time. So just be conscious of that. Sorry, man. Go.
Yeah, look, I totally agree with you. It's just the vendor has advised me to do the this week, so that's why I have to
So again, just advise them, mate. I'd say, look, Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, I'm happy to go live on a Friday and have you first open on Saturday. However, as your appointed agent, I'm here to make recommendations, to give you advice and guidance so you can make the best informed decision. What I typically find is if we have short marketing exposure on something, I can't guarantee what the attendance rate is going to be like on Saturday because we've only had a short 24-hour window for the market to see it, right? Now, we know statistically, looking at reports, realestate.com.au activity is always at its highest point on a Monday. So by starting on a Friday, we've already missed the hype of a Monday when buyers are getting back onto that platform to re-engage what they've seen on the weekend or what's new that week going forward into that week. So just be conscious. I'm happy to go live with you tomorrow. My recommendation will be to hold off and go next week. So we've got more marketing and more exposure, but more importantly, we catch the highest activity online, which is on a Monday. That's the biggest portion of the market and buyers are there then.
Is it a Premier Plus, Barley?
Yep.
Okay. So if you still want to open on Saturday, I would definitely, after Saturday's open, as soon as you finish the open on Saturday, if you're going to launch it, okay, because I understand Chris is right. Most eyeballs are on Monday. So Chris is right. And if you let property build up for 7 days and then bring people through, I 100% agree with what Chris is saying. It does then mean that you've got everyone there at once, right? But if your vendor, if you've already put this plan in place and you don't want to go backtracking against your vendor, whatever, and you do launch it today and you do open on Saturday, tell the vendor that you're also going to be opening on Wednesday evening from like 6 to 6:30 or 6:30 to 7 or something. And then as soon as Saturday's open,
even a Monday, bro. Even a Monday, I'd bring it forward.
What I was thinking, opening on Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday.
Perfect, bro.
Yeah, well, if you're going to do that, then at least you've got multiple opens there. And what I would do is I wouldn't put up all of the open times at the same time. Don't put up all the open times at the same time. Just put up Saturday's open time for starters. And then after Saturday's finished, then put up Sunday's open time. And then after Sunday's finished, then put up Wednesday's open time. Because otherwise, you're going to go, oh, it's open Saturday, it's open Sunday, it's open Wednesday. Oh, we'll try to get to Sunday. Oh, we might go to Wednesday. I just find that I don't like putting up all the open times. I like putting them up one at a time to try to get everybody thinking that's the only opportunity they've got. Then that time's done, and then you put up another open time, and they think that's the only opportunity they've got. That time's done, then you put up the other one. Because if you put up all three, you'll find that you get 2 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, 5 on Wednesday, whereas you want to try to get as many as you can on Saturday. And then if you get heaps on Saturday and it does work out, you get 12 people through and you can start getting some offers, you can send a message.
You might just do Wednesday.
Well, you can do a home pass message. Hey guys, by popular demand, this property was released Friday. There's multiple offers on the table. So we are opening by popular demand again on Wednesday night. And after that, offers will be presented to the vendor. Then you can start using those home pass SMSs, letting people know, shit, you better act now because this one's about to be sold already. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
hey guys, I've got to shoot off to go into this listing after Bory now if he hasn't closed it and won it at Burton. I'm just going to show you real quickly. I'm just going to share my screen again because I get this question a lot about the help center within AgentBox. So a lot of the questions I get can actually be resolved through the help center. So when you're in AgentBox, a lot of the links I've just shared with you today around the activity schedules, how to create them, SMS templates, it's all in here. So again, top right-hand side, you guys can see my AgentBox. Yeah, help and support. I need help doing something. Watch a training video. Now, there's stuff that I forget myself because I haven't done it for quite some time that I just go here and it refreshes me, right? So you can go down here. You've got your AgentBox proposals, AgentBox digital. We just want to deal with the CRM. So if you click on AgentBox CRM, and if we type in activity schedule, edit activity schedule, apply activity schedule, create activity schedule. So it will have a step-by-step instruction guide and then also a video that you can watch as well. So just make sure you're maximizing that help center as much as possible because sometimes if I don't know the answer, that's where I'm going as my first point of call. All righty. Guys, girls, I've got 1 minute, maybe 2, and then I've got to press on in your hands. Questions, help, wins, opportunities. Oh, also, for those in South Australia, if you are available, Chris and EXP Realty have a community event this coming Sunday, Kings Road, Parafield Gardens Recreation Centre, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's family-free event. Really cool family stuff going on there as well. So just a little plug for Chris and the local sponsorship happening there as well. Questions?
Yes, I've just got one.
Yes.
When I was with EXP before, I think it was up to you, Chris, to add the contact classes in if it wasn't in there. So is that still the case or can we add our own now?
You can add your own.
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
Okay.
Chris,
Come on.
yeah, quick question. I had a contract for 526 and vendors, the buyers had a building inspection, so both parties agreed to reduce the price to 521. Now, it was under offer, so I have amended that price amount to 526 to 521. Original contract 526. We got the addendum uploaded in AGENTBOX, so that's all okay, or do I need to do something else as well?
That's fine, mate, as long as you've done the addendum. The only time calling off needs to be reissued if you're changing the entity or the name that's in the contract.
Okay.
Addendum suffices. Yep.
All right.
Just update your story sheet as well with the sale price, so that way all the records are right in the back end.
Yeah, just let Emily Geary know, mate, that there's a variation in the price as well. But yeah, do it in the sales advice because that's what the conveyancers will go off. But you've done it right. Sorry, mate. I was going to give you a call last night, but forgot to when I seen that chat in the group chat.
All good. All good.
All right, gang. I've got to fly. Thank you for your time. Hopefully that was useful. For those that have seen a bit of that, thank you for sitting through it again. But it's always good to refresh and relearn and continue to grow together. Whatever you do, have an awesome week and weekend. Keep it successful, keep it real, keep it authentic, but keep it consistent. Like Tom Panos said, you've got a phone, you've got a brain, you got content, you're in business in 2024.
Remember, guys, be good to one another.
Question.
We're a team here. We work together, not against one another. Work with each other. If there's a situation that arises where there's a duplicate contact or something like that, pick up the phone, call the other agent, have a conversation. You know, just work together, guys.
Awesome. Good word. All right, guys, have a good one.
See ya.
Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.